What up, what up, what up? Alright guys, I'm going to start going over plays that were semi-decent, respected our levels, stuff like that from the night before. Really like these plays, so I'm going to start with that. And the first one, I always trade here on the 5 minute. Let's put this away for a sec. Alright, so I always trade here on the 5 minute. Yesterday, off the watch list was BA, call triggers at 214.25 and a put trigger at 210.9. So this is the opening candle here. Test that up near that 214 level. Okay, whatever. We don't have much going until we do get a nice little break up. And if you caught it right at that 214 level, might have been able to get some quick gains out of it, but then SPY knifes right back down. We do have a very good chance to enter into puts here. Denied on this 214.25 again, and then almost exactly an hour later we get another chance, finally get some breakthrough, some nice downside down to that 210.9 level, get some close under, and it tests that first part PTI had at 209.5, able to scale up fully. We're under VWAP, not too much to worry about there. We test 210.9 again multiple times throughout the day. A lot of chops, so that last hour of trading really doesn't go too well in terms of BA. But we could also play calls here on a failed put trigger, bounced off back up to that 214.5 level. So today with BA, it was mainly inside the zone, playing failed calls and put trigger, just that 214.25 to 210.9 level, playing those bounces. We did get that nice downside move here after a lot of tests of that 214.25. Could have entered some puts, got some nice gains, get below VWAP, nothing really too frightful here below VWAP. And then we finally break through that 210 level. Very nice gains down to 209.5 and down to 20, let's see, what did this test say? 208.79. So, potential was there, but mainly was a lot of chop throughout the day. So it was more of a range bound play. Nothing too great in terms of a breakout until we get that downside later. The second one that moved a little bit better was Roblox. Again, some chop here off open. We reclaim that put trigger at 68.4 right here on this nice bullish candle. Get a nice gain after, and then, that SPY chop. We still remain strong. We test VWAP above VWAP, get back up, and then knife again. That was kind of a theme throughout the earlier part of trading was, these unexpected knifes out of nowhere, and they brought us down a little. Get that retest again to 68.4 and a nice push, but the big move came off this 71.4 failed call trigger. Nice shooting star candle, as we see, very long upper wick. Second candle behind that is a very bearish candle. This didn't have crazy volume. We did have nice volume on the candle two before, and then throughout the day after that it just falls. Finally get below VWAP. Good place to take those second runners out. And then we tank all the way down to 67.4 level, which is very nice to see as well. And then later in the day we do reclaim. So most of the plays today were choppy in that first hour and a half of market open, and then we got some nice downside run later in the day, which was nice to see. Could have made some good gains on puts, but mainly, with both plays, it was more of a, failed call trigger, take those puts and try and make some gains out of them. Had to be relatively quick in terms of entering into our plays. Had to, scaling, definitely a lot of congestion here for about an hour. Not very much volume, chopping around, so you could have been stopped out there. If you did hold through, nice place to scale our second of the third runners if that's how you scale. And then we do get that nice run. This ran about 100% on the puts if you were able to get in. Even in this area, but up here is about 150% on the day. So a very, very good move on the downside with that and BA. All right, let's get into some fun, go over some flow. I do want to mention Roblox does have some pretty insane flow, but the IV on it is wild. So I'm not going to put Roblox in. PLTR is another one I looked at, but it also has earnings this week, and the IVs, it's getting up there. So I'm not going to play PLTR or Roblox in that case. just because that IV is pretty insane. All right, let's go over some. Let's hide these. Perfect. Let's see if we got any questions. No questions yet. Cool. All right. So looking at this, CVX, XOM are two oil stocks, pretty good defensive stocks. I'm not going to include them, but XOM is one to watch as well. One that really sticks out to me here, up first, Uber. If it'll load, let's see today's breakdown. All right. So, this flow's pretty bullish. Why is this so bright? Holy cow. All right. So we finished the day at 34.6. Had some nice runs here and there up to that 36 level. 218.40s are getting hit. I like that. We do have the downside at this 34. Looks like some longer term plays are getting taken with these 318.40s and then 519.50s. So I like that a lot. Good volume, both sides, in a pretty crucial spot to hold for Uber. If we just look at this chart here, some pretty serious levels that need to be held, or a break to the downside is definitely in the future. And I expect this does run closely off SPY, so a week's down SPY. I really like the downside. The upside, a little bit more congestion, but that 36 level is nice. We have nice volume on these calls. I like Uber a lot. Second one that really sticks out to me is SQ. I love the downside on SQ, but it was very strong today considering how weak the market was. Okay. And then another thing that I noticed here on SQ is this first most active chain was a 218.84 put. That's $30 out of the money this week expiration. And then the 218.180 call, I'm guessing, is a straddle with this 180 put. So that's cool, whatever. I like this 100 put as well, up here pretty high, and the 120 call. So this shows me that there's that magnet effect. A pretty big move is coming in either way. Don't know which direction. So I like that a lot. Really love the downside on SQ, but it has been consolidating, holding that 101 level very, very well. And it was strong today on a relatively weak day for SPY. So I like SQ a lot. Another one is Snap was pretty strong today until, the last little sell-off part. But it was strong. Flow, if it loads. All right, so, we gapped up on pretty nice earnings, and we've been consolidating in this 42 to 39 looking area. So I like that. First thing, the 40 puts were probably taken later in the day. Got a nice move out of that, like that. We got nice volume here on these 39s. But what stands out to me is this 218.45 call, $6 from our finishing point, and this 35 put here for 218. Like that a lot. So this is another one that has pretty decent volume on both sides. It needs to hold this 39 level, or we have a nice downside. But if it can break that 42 after a triple top, looking here on this chart, that's potential for an upside break. Flow shows both ways. The key levels show both ways. Snap's another one I like a lot. My favorite thing about all these plays and what SPY is doing right now is there's a lot of indecision. No one really knows where the market's going. So there's nice volume on both sides. And that is something I like a lot, because I do love playing both sides. And that's one thing, why I like the market right now. The volatility is not as much as I'd like, just because it's ramping up those IVs. But I like the fact that we can play both sides. Flows coming in both sides. Key levels are pretty clean. So I like, Snap, SQ, Uber a lot. The next two, LCID. Tesla, very strong. EV names, pretty strong for most of the day, especially that first 2 to 3 hours. A lot of push. If we see here, touching down that 25s, got all the way up to 28 today. So I like that. And things really stick out. This 218.30 call, highest active chain, like that. And then this 218.25 put, nice volume, another one that we can play as well with both sides, right? Both sides are getting hit really nice. There is a volume gap above on Lucid to about 33. We've been consolidating in this 30 to 25 zone, staying around 26 to 28. So this is due for a big move in either direction. I'd like the upside just because there's a volume gap, so it's going to move faster. But the downside is there as well, especially for weak market. We'll see how Tesla does tomorrow. Tesla is testing some levels it needs to hold, about 850 down to 800. So this one is going to run off Tesla, but I like the upside potential a ton, especially seeing this nice 30 call. The volume on the puts is there as well, like that a lot. Then the last one is Facebook. So Facebook, definitely a weak name after some pretty bad earnings, which is fine. But the flow on it is another one of those that has very good OTM in both directions for this week. And by that, I mean, the highest call is this 225. So that's an $8 move. Highest put, 210. Okay, $7 move downside. But I really like this 200 put here. 380 call, kind of insane to me, but whatever. 218s, we're getting all the way up to 250, 220, 230. So this is going to make a big move either way. The upside definitely has more range in my opinion, but the downside, it's down to levels that haven't been seen since it IPO'd. So I like Facebook a lot. I like all 5 plays, the fact that they have nice volume both sides, that possible magnet effect that I talk about with high volume, close days till expiration. I like that a lot. All right, let's go over some levels. So that's Roblox. Let's start here with Uber. Let's go to this 15-minute. So looking at Uber, these levels are big. Definitely very, very big. 35.4, big level. But I'm going to aim underneath that level right where we retested. I'm going to scroll out a little so I can show this a little bit better. And a level that's, 35.4 is a big level. But I'm going to put my call trigger here at 35.2. It's the low of this zone. This is the zone it needed to break in order to make a nice little upside move. So I like 35.2 here on Uber as a call trigger. Not too crazy away from that. Finishing down here at 34.6. Cool. I'm going to use the hourly, kind of look at this downside here on Uber. So looking at it, volume gap, our VPA, we're in this range, which is nice to see. But I'm going to use this level down here at 34, which is the low of this zone over here on the hourly, for my put trigger. I like that. In terms of potential price targets, 33.63. All right, so 33.6 is going to be the first one I watch here on this for Uber on the downside. Nice move, 40-cent move, and that can happen fast, right? Then under that, nothing's really showing except for all the way down at 32.85. So this is a good move. Potential on the downside, that is way higher than I wanted for Uber, so I like that a lot. And then in terms of the upside, a lot more congestion. Gonna watch that 35.4 level. 35, what's the high on this? 35.45. Definitely gonna watch that. And then over that, a little bit more congestion, a little bit more ranges, but I'm gonna look all the way up here at around 36 as a big level. Put 35.95. You can see it with that nice volume profile. Let's go 35.9. What's the low on this? 35.92. So 35.9, big level. We see a lot of resistance up there. So testing at 36 is going to be big. I like that a lot. Potential both side. Nice flow both side. Like me some Uber. SQ is the next one. So looking at this, definitely a ton of support down here at 107. Let's see, what's the low on this? 107.57, 107.35, 107.54. So 107.5 is a massive level as 107.52. That's not going to be my put trigger, but I am definitely going to look at that level. For my put trigger, I'm going to use the low here at 109.5 for put. Throw this in blue, give myself some 109.5. I like that. And that I'm definitely that first level I'm gonna watch after that 109.5 is down here at 107.5. Needs to hold that level, or else this has that good downside that I like a lot on SQ. Perfect. Under that, it can move down to 106, 105 really fast. And the really big level it looks like here on SQ is 104.3, 104.44, 104.3, yeah, 104.3. So that's going to be, if this thing really gets moving tomorrow on the downside, 104.3, definitely a possibility. SQ moves decent. Its bid-ask spreads aren't the best in the world, so I don't like that. But there's definitely potential for a nice move either way. Did have that relative strength today. And then in terms of a call trigger, I'm going to use this level that's very highly disputed at 114 for my calls. 114, this is a bigger account play, pretty expensive. But 114, big level, tested here, acted as support, fell through that level, and then we are testing again. So it's a very, very big level here. Over that, let me zoom out to the hourly. 115 is going to be a massive level. I can tell you that much. Don't even really need. Okay, so 115.37 looks to be big. 115, yeah. Okay. So 115.35, big level. What's the high? 115.25 is going to be my first target. Throw this in here in blue. That can move pretty decent. I like the potential for that move. Over 115.25. We have this high here at 116.3. What's the low? 116.3 is a nice level as well. So I like that. Potential both ways. Really like the downside. I'll show you guys the downside here on this daily chart and why I like it so much. Gotta zoom out. So we are starting to form this nice little volume profile here. But look at that, all the way down to 83, 85, which is probably why those 84 puts are being hit so hard. Very, very big volume profile down here. So I like that a lot. We are consolidating, forming a nice volume profile, but the downside is very nice. Did hold up very strong today, so can't take away that upside. All right, Lucid. So this is the volume gap I talked about here on Lucid, from about where we're consolidating at this 26 to about 28 level up to 36.10 is really the top of it, but 33 is the level on the intraday that I really, really like. All right, in terms of a call and put trigger, there's a lot of disputed levels, but the level I'm going to use for a call trigger is this 28.10 level, and I like it a lot. There's definitely going to be some quick moves out of this tomorrow, I would expect. But 28.10, very, very disputed level, touched a lot of different times. And before we fell off, that's the level we couldn't hold, tested multiple times. It was support, tested again. I like that a lot. And then in terms of the downside, I'm going to scroll back over right in here, which correlates pretty close to our volume profile right here at 26.85, a level tested. It's a resistance here, another breakthrough level, test near it, and then before we really fall off, that's the level that's very, very disputed here on Lucid. So I like those two put and call triggers. In terms of my levels I'm going to watch over that, so this level here, 28.4, big level, very big level, which it provides a decent move, but that would be my first scaling target. And then over 28.5, this level up here at 28.7 is nice. I don't expect Lucid to get really anything too crazy tomorrow, but if it does start getting a little bit of momentum, that could be that push for our Wednesday. So I like that a lot. And then levels underneath 26. Let's see, what's this? 26.60. What's the high on this? 26.60. Okay, I like 26.60. Nice level. 26.60. Throw you in there. And underneath that, this level here is massive. low, 2616, 2617. All right, we'll do 2616, 2617. What's the high on this? 2615. Okay, so 2615 is that level, big one to watch. As I stated, this is one with Tesla, goes with Tesla, so can keep that in mind. But there's nice flow both ways. Smaller account version of Tesla, I like that a lot. That's one I'm definitely going to be watching very close tomorrow. Snapchat. So we had this big gap down, big gap up, consolidating here again. Massive level here. What the heck is the high on this? 41.88, 41.62, 41.7 is a big level. Okay. So that'll be one of my targets. But in terms of a trigger, whoa, all right. So a level that really sticks out to me is right over this candle before we fell. Tested multiple times. It's a low over here at 40.4. I like that level for a call trigger. Over that, it can get moving a little bit for sure, but a lot more congestion on the upside as we then compare to the downside. And for the downside here on Snap, I'm going to use right under this long candle here at 38.75. Definitely shows definitely a big level. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. 38.75. Underneath that, I like it all the way down here at 38.25. 38.25, throw myself some yellow, give me a little bit. So 38.25, and then under that, we got range down to 37.8. 38's going to be 38.05 is going to be a big level. Throw this in here, 38.01, and then 37.8 is a very, very big level. 37.8, 37.7. We'll go 37.71. It's the bottom of this. A lot of zones tested in here, tested in here. I like that. On the upside, we're going to have to go. Let's go to the hourly, kind of see these levels a little bit more clear. So, all right, 40.7, going to be one to watch. It was 40.68, like that. Over 40.68. I'm going to be watching this 41.5 level and then 41.75. Potential for a big move both ways. Over that, this very high congestion level here around 42, we have a lot of range. If we look back over 42, we have range to up here about 43. So nice move potential. We'll see what it does tomorrow, but I like the fact that there's a lot of flow coming into Snap after some pretty good earnings. Upside, downside potential pretty nice. I like the downside here to fill this gap more. Facebook. All right, so Facebook, ugly earnings, drops a ton, consolidating a little bit, but looking at this, all right, looking at this hourly chart, the level that really sticks out and has been tested multiple times before falling off is right up here at 221. I'll use that as my call trigger. Throw you in blue, and then for the put trigger, I'm gonna use right underneath this candle here at 214.8. Only thing really holding it up, 214.8. Cool. Over that 221, some levels to watch are up here at 222.2, which is a good move, of course. 222.29. Throw you in yellow, and then. So there's a double bottom here at 224.0, 224. Throw that 224.09. I like that. And then this has potential to go up to 225. In terms of a downside, this one's going to be a little bit different because we haven't seen these. Actually, that daily candle's not terrible here on Facebook. It has a nice long lower wick, which isn't bad. Throwing a trend line here just off the gap down. See we testing this. I like that. Nice little descending wedge. Let's throw this in. So a nice little descending wedge look here. A lower low, which is okay, but we'll see how it does tomorrow. In terms of underneath that, like what can I say? 207 is a big level, but I'm just gonna use those psych levels, 214, 213.5, 213 as my levels to scale. And then the real level that I'm watching a lot is all the way down here. Let's see the low of this, 207. So that's going to be a level I watch a lot. If we have a really weak market tomorrow and things really sell off, 207 is not out of the possibility for Facebook. It can move, 10, 15, $20 in a day. So the downside potential is there for Facebook. I like that a lot. Which volume profile indicator are you using here? Yeah, I use VPVR. It is the visible range indicator underneath the volume profile on TradingView. So I like that a lot. All right, so